1966, LA. And Brian Wilson has already torched $50,000, about $400,000 today, on a 3-minute track no one has heard. Capitol's bean counters are hammering the phone. The Beach Boys royalty checks have dried up, and word around the session is he's spending the Surf Shack. If you were 23 and every dollar your mates earned depended on this unheard pocket symphony, would you roll the tape one more night or yank the plug? 16 May 66. The Beach Boys drop Pet Sounds. Strings, bass harmonicas, even bicycle bells where the surf guitars used to be. Critics went berserk, but the US chart stopped at number 10 and the sessions had already hoovered $70,000, about $50,000 back then, the price of a semi-detached in Kent. Flashback a year. Brian Wilson, fresh off a mid-air panic attack, sacks the road gigs and barricades himself at the piano, stacking vocals higher than Phil Spector's wall and playing Rubber Soul on repeat. His mission? Prove an LP could run like one seamless movie reel. That was Pet Sounds. Capitol, though, just wanted another sunny 45 like California Girls. Applause from the critics, side-eye from the accountants. So Brian ups the ante. Cram a whole album's worth of color into a single. He writes 2 words in the studio log: good vibrations. Picture Brian Wilson hunched over his Baldwin piano, chasing a sound too big for any verse-chorus pop tune. He calls it a pocket symphony. 3 minutes that ought to feel like a whole album in one hit. To get there, he scraps start-to-finish takes and invents DIY modular recording. Verse on Monday, chorus on Thursday, bridge next month. Then razor blades splice the best bits together like audio Lego. Every new module means a fresh call to the wrecking crew. One night, a galloping Fender bass. Next, cello stabs on the upbeat. Then Paul Tanner wheels in his space-age electro theremin, that wobbling glide that still makes your car radio quiver. Each fragment bumps the bill, but the rough mix is a Technicolor blur no one's heard before. By spring '66, the song is busting pop's boundaries and Capitol's budget sheet, but Brian swears every last puzzle piece is non-negotiable.
I know it wouldn't take much time for you to help me run, to help me.
Stopwatch hits 17 Feb 66, Gold Star Studios. Engineer Chuck Britz runs 26 takes. Brian Wilson bins them before sunrise. Session 1 of 17 spread over LA's 4 hottest rooms: Gold Star, Western, Columbia, Sunset Sound. For the next 7 months, the tape deck becomes an edit bay. One call snags a galloping Fender bass. The next, a cello choir stab. Then Paul Tanner ghosts in with that wobbling electro theremin. Every fresh idea means a new union timesheet and another 2-inch reel, clocking 90 studio hours for a 3.5-minute single. Madness. Capitol's accountants keep score. Mid-spring invoices scream $50,000, about $40,000, more than most mid-60s LP budgets. Nightly phone calls tighten. Brian, when do we get something we can flog? 21 September 66, 3 a.m., Columbia Studio A, 7-hour mix marathon. Wilson slumps back, whispers, "Sit down and listen." The sonic puzzle snaps into place. Next hurdle. Can this splice-happy masterpiece pay the record-breaking tab? By early summer '66, the ledger reads like a horror flick. 17 sessions, 90 studio hours, 4 top-shelf rooms, total $50,000, about $40,000. That's more than a full album cost, or a brand new Jag E-Type. Capitol's bean counters redline every extra cello stab and theremin wobble. Warning, blow another dime and the next LP gets 0 promo. Invoices rocket, royalty checks shrink. Smelling a stall, the Beach Boys hire auditors. Books don't match the cash. 28 Feb 67. The band sues for $255,000 in missing royalties and asks to walk out 2 years early. Capitol settles that summer. Money arrives, but after months of lawyer fog, distrust festers. 1 April 69. A second writ hits the door. Over $2 million this time. Another 7-figure payoff. But the long squeeze has already sapped studio mojo. Yet back in 66, Brian Wilson keeps telling anyone who'll listen, one perfect splice and every red ink line disappears. All that's left is to prove it on the charts. Capitol keeps rattling the tin until the elastic finally snaps. 24 Feb 67. The Beach Boys march into LA Superior Court, demand $255,000 in missing royalties and permission to walk 2 years early. A summer payoff staunches the cash bleed, but trust is toast. Ledgers stay open, numbers climb. 12 April 69. Writ number 2 slams down, this time $2 million plus. Headlines scream, Surf King skint. Capitol threatens a counterblast, and months of depositions leave master tapes gathering dust. Both sides finally handshake. Capitol writes a 7-figure check. The Boys' brother label keeps the pressing plants, and 3 years of courtroom trench warfare has nicked the studio mojo. Rewind to the good news. 10 Octane 66, the single finally ships. 28 Octane it debuts at number 38. 4 days later, it's shifted 293,000 copies. Mid-November? No. 1 in the UK. 10 deck? No. 1 stateside gold on 21 Decent. The most expensive single ever made erases its $50,000 $40,000 tab almost overnight and becomes the band's fastest seller. Brian, wrecked from 7 months of 3 a.m. splice-athons, watches the charts climb from his LA sofa while the rest of the band pops champagne on tour. For one shining moment, the maths lines up. Insane risk equals runaway reward, but a full bank account only fuels Wilson's next tilt at the windmill, an album called Smile that's poised to swallow the new cushion of cash just as fast as Good Vibrations earned it. Fancy digging into that lost teenage symphony to God? Tap subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll crack open the S-Mile vault next week. Instead of kicking back, Good Vibrations lights an even bigger fuse. Within weeks, Brian Wilson is penciling an LP called S-Mile, 12 modular epics loaded with barnyard whoops, bicycle bells, and Lost America lyrics. Studio doors swing open again and the meter spins. From Feb 66 to 18 May 67, the Boys burn another year of tape chasing a teenage symphony to God. Capitol Brass mutter, "Good vibes times 12." This time as a warning. Lawyers circle Brian's anxiety climbs. The band grumbles. Mid-May 67, he finally sighs. Shelf it. And the reels go dark. A cut-down smiley smile dribbles out that September while the real smile gathers dust. And legend. Fans whisper Wilson chased perfection until it cracked him. Critics later dig up the tapes and salute genius glimpsed, but never fully grasped. Quick heads up, gents. If stories like this make the old vinyl crackle in your head, tap subscribe and ring the bell. Every week we drop a fresh deep dive stuffed with classic riffs, lost masters, and hard-earned studio lessons. Close to 60 years on, that first swell of cellos still raises goosebumps. Good Vibrations made the Grammy Hall of Fame in '94. Hit number 6 on Rolling Stone's 2010 all-time list. Number 53 in the 2021 reboot. And studio geeks still freeze frame its jump cut edits like film students studying Scorsese. Most historians chalk it up as the record that cracked the door to psychedelic and progressive pop. So, was Brian Wilson's $50,000 or $40,000 gamble worth it? One single rewrote the rulebook, wiped the Beach Boys' debt, and helped define an era. But ledger sheets don't measure nerve. If that invoice hit your desk back in '66, would you have killed the track or rolled the dice?